Hey guys, it's Reagan, and today I'm going to be talking about my review for Solo: A Star Wars Story. So the first thing I want to say is that this movie did exceed my expectations. Ultimately, I thought it was very enjoyable. I was very hesitant about this movie, that's why I had a whole video about that. I just thought that it would kind of do dishonor to Harrison Ford's Han Solo and kind of what the original trilogy established, but that wasn't the case. It was actually pretty good. Alden Ehrenreich was not as bad as I thought he would be. He wasn't still, I don't think he was the best person to be cast for Han Solo, but he wasn't that bad. It wasn't too bad to watch him, and it was easy for me to kind of go into it and get invested in the story. I will say, some of the things that I said in my previous video did kind of happen, but it wasn't too bad. It was kind of more organic, so it wasn't, it didn't make me too mad. So now I'm going to get into some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, stop right there and make sure you go see this movie because it's actually pretty good. And I will say that there weren't that many people there. When I saw it opening night, I saw it at 7 on Thursday, and typically for Star Wars it's packed and there's a line, but for this movie it wasn't really so I really do hope that more people get out to go see it. I probably don't need to see it more than once. A lot of the saga films, I would love to see them more than once in the theater just to really absorb it all, but this movie wasn't too bad. I mean, there was a lot of references in it to the Clone Wars and other Star Wars, in the canon and the TV shows and things like that, so maybe I would see it again to notice all of those little things, but ultimately it was pretty good and good on the first view. So, let's get started with some spoilers. So when the movie opens and it's Han running away from these people that he stole from, and he's trying to get to Madame Proxima and get away, and because he's under her care on Qi'ra, and obviously Madame Proxima really reminded me of Unkar Plutt, so I saw a lot of parallels between Rey and Han Solo in that moment where Han Solo has to steal to kind of get his rent and protection from Madame Proxima and get her food and shelter, and then Rey has to scavenge and for Unkar Plutt. So that kind of saw some parallels there, so that was kind of interesting for me because I've been really kind of delving into Rey's character and doing a lot of character analysis on her, so that's why that immediately popped into my head. And then also kind of with Qi'ra, when he first kissed her, I was like, oh my god, great, this is where this is going. But ultimately, their relationship throughout the movie wasn't too bad. Sometimes it was a little annoying that they kiss a lot, and I was kind of dang, you never kissed Leia this much, you know what I mean? But it wasn't too bad. Sometimes I was like, okay, but it wasn't too almost gag-worthy or kind of not really there. It was just kind of young love and how he got caught up. Although sometimes I was while I was watching the movie, I was kind of he was really kind of distant and not very affectionate in the original trilogy, so I feel what they should do is kind of show, well, obviously at the end she betrayed him, but I think that kind of also makes him more distant, but I think there needs to be more kind of showing why he got so much more distant. Obviously they're gonna probably make, according to what the rumors are, a 3-movie deal, so there'll probably be 2 more movies. Maybe that will lead more into what happened with Han Solo, but so that was kind of interesting for me. But back to when they were running away, when Han got given his last name by the Imperial worker, that was hilarious to me. I was he was you're alone, so Solo, and I was what? This is such an iconic name, but it was given to Han by the Empire, so that was crazy. And then it was kind of interesting to see Han be an Imperial soldier, and I thought that was kind of fascinating. I really did kind of enjoy that, where you kind of saw a different side there. And then everyone knew, I knew as soon as they put him down with the monster, I was at first I was okay, Return of the Jedi reminded me of that scene with Luke, but then I was it's gonna be Chewie, I just know it's gonna be Chewie. And then it appears to be Chewie, and Han knew how to speak Wookiee, and that was kind of hilarious. I mean, I know there's a language for Wookiee, but I always pronounce it wrong, but you know what I'm saying. So that's interesting, and I was kind of oh, that's funny. So it was kind of neat to see them meet. I really did like the relationship between Han and Chewie throughout this movie. It kind of gave them their original banter, is kind of funny, and then they were just getting to know each other. That was great. So, I really did like how they showed how Han did the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs. That was funny because, you know, that's like his big thing, like the Millennium Falcon, and then how he got the ship, obviously. I think that Donald Glover did a fantastic job as Lando. I liked his swab. It was great. You know, I liked that he was kind of a cheat a little bit, and kind of references, different references there. There's a lot of references. What I really appreciate with Ron Howard, which I know my mom and my brother did, who are more into Star Wars lore than I even am, and they were like, oh my gosh, this is this is from this, you know. So it was great that Ron Howard really included all of those. So that was great. And then obviously at the end when Darth Maul appeared, and then everyone's like, what? You know, but I was like, ooh, you already know that because on Clone Wars it shows that he's not dead, and then, you know, and he's been in Rebels too. So that was kind of great to see, and kind of like a little thing. But obviously I talked about in my last video that there was the voice of Darth Maul was there from the Clone Wars, and also the martial artist who played him in The Phantom Menace was there, so it's kind of obvious that that was what they were going to do if you paid attention to the premiere. But yeah, so that was pretty great. I really did like Beckett and his crew. I think Woody Harrelson did a good job, and it's great to see him in a Star Wars movie. I like him, of course. And yeah, so it was pretty enjoyable. I really did like it. And then I also liked L3. She was kind of funny for the Resistance, and Resistance, and, you know, as a droid that was trying to get equal rights. That was kind of an interesting little side plot, and I kind of like that. And also it was nice that she was kind of incorporated into the Falcon, so that's why it is such an advanced ship and kind of can talk back, which I think has been in like some books and things like that where the Falcon kind of has a mind of its own, and so now we know that it's kind of L3. So that was enjoyable. And yeah, so there's a lot of little things about it, and I really enjoyed Solo: A Star Wars Story.
Guys, I forgot about the dang golden dice. This is crazy because this is literally a direct connection to The Last Jedi, where in this movie it's kind of all about Han and his luck, and that's kind of his youth where he always has a golden dice, and then when Kylo holds it at the end, it really is a symbolism of Han's humanity and kind of what Han was about, and kind of the luck, and maybe it will save Kylo like it saved Han from these near-death experiences, but it's just crazy to me. So I think that that was obvious and put in this movie for a reason, and I do think that it is a part of Kylo Ren's redemption arc, and it is a sign that Kylo Ren will be redeemed in Episode 9, just like we were all saying.
So yeah, that's my review for it. So thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, bye!